Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you truly invested in you? Not in people's opinions, not in the approval of others, not in the noise of the world, but in your growth, your peace, your mission. Because here's the truth. If you keep waiting for people to understand your vision, you'll be stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. But if you focus on yourself, on building your skills, sharpening your mindset, and owning your journey, you'll do something extraordinary. You'll shock everyone who ever doubted you. Let's talk about how you do it. Stop being casual with your potential. That one line could change everything if you let it. You weren't created to live average, to settle, or to move through life like it's some kind of rehearsal. This is it. This is the moment. And if you don't get serious about your growth, no one else will do it for you. Growth isn't automatic. Just because time passes doesn't mean you're getting better. A year from now, you'll either be in the same place wondering why nothing changed, or you'll be shocking everyone with how far you've come. The difference? How obsessed you are with your growth starting today. The world we live in is a battlefield of distractions. Notifications, entertainment, people pulling you in every direction. It all demands your time. But ask yourself, how many of those things are truly paying you back? Not just in entertainment or short-term pleasure, but in long-term strength, skill, and success. Most people are broke in life not because they lack talent, but because they waste time. You've got a bank of 24 hours every single day. Are you investing that time into becoming someone better than you were yesterday? Getting obsessed with your growth means you wake up every day hungry to learn something new, hungry to get uncomfortable, hungry to train your mind like an athlete trains their body. It means replacing distractions with disciplines. It means realizing that every book you read, every new skill you develop, every minute you choose to grow instead of scroll, that's a deposit into the future version of you. If you want to shock the world, you've got to show up different. You've got to read more, not just to collect knowledge, but to transform your mindset. You've got to learn faster, not just to compete, but to dominate your space. You've got to show up stronger, not because life gets easier, but because you've become tougher. You've got to make growth non-negotiable. It's not something you do when you have time. It becomes part of who you are. Take the example of James, a young man who used to waste every evening watching TV and scrolling social media. One day, after being laughed at during a job interview for not knowing basic industry knowledge, he made a decision. He got serious about his growth. He canceled distractions, started reading an hour a day, took online courses, worked on his communication skills, and began applying what he learned in real life. Fast forward 1 year, he got hired by the same company that once rejected him. The hiring manager was stunned. James didn't just apply again. He walked in with confidence, skills, and value. He shocked everyone, not because of luck, but because of relentless personal growth. That's the power of obsession. It turns embarrassment into elevation. It turns rejection into redirection. It turns average into unstoppable. But it only works if you're all in. Half-hearted effort brings half-hearted results. You've got to want it so bad that your actions scream it, even if your words stay silent. Growth isn't easy. It demands sacrifice. It means trading comfort for challenge, entertainment for education, and temporary satisfaction for long-term fulfillment. But when you choose growth consistently, passionately, and without compromise, you change. And when you change, your world changes with you. So don't be casual with your life. Be deliberate. Be intentional. Be obsessed with becoming the best version of yourself. Because when you commit to that path day in and day out, you won't have to chase success or applause. It will come looking for you. And when it does, the world won't be able to ignore your transformation. They'll be left asking how you did it. And all you'll say is, I got obsessed with my growth. You don't have to announce every move. In fact, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to stay silent and let your actions do the talking. We live in a world where everyone wants to be seen, where people feel pressured to post every step of their journey, to share every plan, every goal, every achievement, even before it's real. But real power doesn't move like that. Real power builds quietly. It doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be consistent. There's strength in silence. When you keep your head down and focus on the work, something incredible happens. You create without interference. You're not performing for likes. You're not distracted by validation. You're not seeking applause. You're too busy building something solid, something real. While others are busy watching, wondering, and gossiping about what you might be doing, you're already 3 steps ahead. You've moved in silence, and when you show the results, it's undeniable. Silence allows you to control your energy. When you talk too much about your plans, you often end up leaking the energy you should be using to execute. Every time you speak about something you haven't done yet, your brain feels like it already happened, and that false sense of accomplishment can kill your drive. Instead, learn to stay quiet. Let the fire stay inside. Let the hunger build. Put that energy into the work, not the words. Staying silent doesn't mean hiding. It means being intentional. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay focused. It's the art of moving with precision and purpose without seeking the spotlight. The spotlight will find you when the time is right, but not before you've earned it. Consider the story of a young woman named Alina. She had a dream to start a business, but she told no one. No posts, no announcements, no long speeches about what she was about to do. She just started working. Every night after her job, she studied marketing. She saved money silently. She learned about products, built a small team, and launched her brand from her living room. While others were busy showcasing their plans on social media, Alina stayed quiet. She used that time to execute. 6 months later, she dropped her first product. Within 48 hours, it sold out. Her inbox was flooded. People were stunned. Friends asked, "When did you even start this?" That was the shock. That was the moment silence became power. She didn't talk about it, she became it. And her success spoke louder than any post could have. That's the kind of power you unlock when you master the art of silence. You stop wasting time trying to convince people you're serious, you just show them. You stop trying to prove yourself, you build yours. You stop needing to be seen because eventually your results will be too big to ignore. Let others chase attention, you chase mastery. Let others perform, you prepare. Let others get distracted by noise, you stay locked in on the mission. When you move this way, you gain something rare, control. Control of your time, your mind, your energy. And that control leads to clarity, and clarity leads to excellence. So, stay quiet. Stay focused. Let your growth, your discipline, your results make the noise. Because when you emerge, they won't be ready. They'll be surprised. They'll be shocked. But you won't be, because you knew this was coming all along. You just chose to build it in silence. You can't climb while you're holding on to everything. That's the truth most people don't want to face. Growth requires letting go. You can't reach the next level carrying the weight of distractions, bad habits, and people who don't believe in your vision. If you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, if you're serious about shocking everyone, then you have to get ruthless with your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves access to your time. Distractions come dressed as comfort. They show up as the friend who always wants to hang out but never adds value to your life. They show up as habits that feel good in the moment but leave you further behind every time you indulge in them. They hide in environments that feel familiar but are keeping you small. And the danger is they're sneaky. They don't always scream wrong. Sometimes they whisper, "It's okay, just this once." But that just once turns into pattern, and patterns create your future. You have to start evaluating everything in your life with one question: does this align with where I'm going? If the answer is no, it's got to go. It doesn't mean you hate people. It doesn't mean you're better than anyone. It means you respect your purpose too much to stay distracted. You've got dreams to chase. You've got a level to reach. You've got work to do. And time is too precious to waste on what doesn't serve you. Cutting distractions isn't just about saying no to the obvious things like excessive scrolling or binge watching shows. It's also about identifying deeper distractions: the fear of missing out, the need for constant validation, the addiction to doing what's easy instead of what's necessary. Distractions aren't always loud. Sometimes they're the quiet routines we've accepted without questioning. You have to wake up to them. You have to become intentional. You have to choose focus like your future depends on it, because it does. Think about someone like Daniel. He was talented, motivated, and had big goals, but he wasn't moving forward. Every time he tried to level up, something pulled him back. His phone was constantly in his hand. He stayed around a group of friends who joked about success and laughed at ambition. His weekends were filled with parties, not progress. One day, after missing a huge opportunity because he overslept following a night out, something clicked. He looked around and realized nothing around him matched where he wanted to go. So he made a decision. He unfollowed accounts that distracted him. He cut off friends who only brought drama. He created a new schedule, one that prioritized growth, fitness, reading, and building his dream. It wasn't easy at first. The silence was uncomfortable. The solitude felt heavy. But within months, Daniel was sharper, more focused, and more driven than ever before. He built a new circle, found a mentor, launched his business, and started attracting the very things he once only dreamed about. He didn't become smarter overnight. He just removed what was slowing him down. That's what eliminating distractions does. It clears the fog. It sharpens your vision. It creates space for your potential to grow. You don't need more hours in the day. You need fewer leaks in your energy. When you cut the noise, you multiply your focus, and when you multiply your focus, your results skyrocket. So be honest with yourself. What's holding you back? Who's draining you? What habits are stealing your future? Cut it, replace it, refocus. You're not here to play small, you're here to climb. But climbing requires your hands free, your vision clear, and your heart locked in. Let go of the unnecessary, eliminate the distractions, and watch how high you rise. Discipline is the bridge between potential and power. You can have all the talent, all the dreams, and all the ideas in the world, but without discipline, they mean nothing. Discipline is what separates those who almost did something great from those who actually did it. It's not about being perfect. It's not about feeling motivated every day. It's about making a decision that no matter how you feel, no matter what comes up, you're going to keep showing up, because the version of you that you're chasing, that version is already disciplined. That version doesn't wait for the right mood. They move in the direction of purpose, regardless of how they feel. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they're too inconsistent. They break promises to themselves. They start strong and quit early. They trade long-term greatness for short-term comfort. But here's the truth. Nothing extraordinary is built on comfort. If you want to shock everyone, if you want to truly stand out, then you have to learn the power of saying no. No to sleeping in. No to skipping workouts. No to wasting time. No to anything that doesn't serve your higher purpose. Discipline isn't just about waking up early or hitting the gym. It's a mindset. It's a personal standard. It's refusing to settle for average when you know you're capable of more. It's choosing the hard thing now so life can be easier later. Because make no mistake, if you avoid the pain of discipline today, you'll feel the pain of regret tomorrow. And regret is a weight much heavier than effort. The truth is, most of what you want in life lies on the other side of uncomfortable decisions. You want a strong mind? You've got to train it daily. You want a healthy body? You've got to fuel it and move it with intention. You want success? You've got to work like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Your future depends on what you do consistently, not occasionally. Take the story of Malik, a college athlete who had dreams of going pro. He was good, but not the best. Every coach told him the same thing. You've got talent, but you lack consistency. One day, after getting benched during a big game, he made a decision. No more excuses. No more waiting for someone to push him. He set a new schedule, 4:30 a.m. wake-ups, 2 workouts a day, studying game footage, eating clean, and staying away from parties and distractions. People called him extreme. They said he was doing too much. But he wasn't listening to them. He was listening to his vision. Over time, his performance transformed. His stamina improved. His focus sharpened. And more importantly, his mindset became unshakable. By senior year, Malik was team captain, breaking records and catching the attention of scouts. He didn't become superhuman. He just became disciplined. And that discipline turned his potential into power. You don't need to wait for the perfect plan. You don't need to scroll for more inspiration. What you need is a decision. Decide to be the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. Decide to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Decide to wake up with intention and go to bed with pride. Discipline will cost you something. Comfort, convenience, time, but it will give you everything. Confidence, power, results, and the ability to shock everyone who thought you couldn't do it. So stop negotiating with your greatness. Make the decision, build the discipline, and watch your potential become undeniable. The real work doesn't happen when the cameras are on, the crowd is cheering, or the world is watching. It happens in the silence, in the stillness, in the dark. That's where greatness is forged. That's where transformation takes root. Most people want to be seen before they're ready. They want to be praised before they've earned it. But the truth is, if you want to shock everyone, you've got to be willing to grind when nobody's clapping for you. The dark isn't your enemy, it's your training ground. When you build in the dark, you do it for the right reasons. You're not working for attention, you're working for mastery. You're not showing up to impress others. You're showing up to honor your vision. The dark teaches you discipline. It tests your commitment. It strips away the noise and reveals who you really are. Are you serious about your goals, or do you just like the idea of them? The dark doesn't lie. That early morning when your alarm goes off and no one's texting you to wake up, that's the dark. That late night when you're reading, learning, working while everyone else is relaxing, that's the dark. And that's where you get stronger. The reason most people never reach their potential is because they can't stand the silence. They quit when there's no validation. But you must understand this. The silence is sacred. That season where nobody notices your effort, nobody congratulates your progress, and nobody sees your sacrifice, that's where champions are born. The spotlight is just the reward. The dark is where the work gets done. It's where your habits are built, your confidence is earned, and your identity is reshaped. Think about someone like Erica, a young artist who wanted to make a name for herself in the design world. But no one was hiring her. Her work wasn't getting noticed. She didn't have the connections or the followers. So she made a choice. She disappeared from the scene. While others were chasing likes and exposure, Erica locked in. She woke up at 5 a.m. every day and treated her craft like a full-time job. She watched tutorials, read design books, practiced nonstop, and created projects for imaginary clients just to sharpen her skills. For 2 years, she posted nothing, said nothing, but she was building, she was evolving. Then one day, she reappeared with a portfolio that made people stop in their tracks. Her designs were sharp, professional, and unlike anything others were doing. Within weeks, companies were reaching out. Within months, she was being featured, interviewed, and hired for major projects. People called it an overnight success. But it wasn't overnight. It was the result of grinding in the dark, far away from the applause. That's the mindset you need. You build in silence so you can explode in the light. You don't need to post every move. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Let your work be louder than your words. Let your results introduce you. Real growth doesn't happen in the hype. It happens in the hidden hours. So embrace the dark season. Lean into it, use it, let it shape you, humble you, and strengthen you, because one day when the lights hit, when the world starts watching, you won't have to act ready, you'll already be. And that's when you shock them. Not with speeches, not with announcements, but with undeniable, powerful, visible results that were born in the unseen hours. There's a kind of power that doesn't come from shouting back or proving a point with words. It comes from winning, from rising above, from becoming so good, so consistent, and so undeniable that even your harshest critics can't argue with the results. You don't need to argue with people who doubt you. You don't need to convince anyone that you're worthy of success. The moment you stop trying to prove yourself with noise and start proving yourself with results, everything changes. Silence becomes your weapon, growth becomes your response, success becomes your revenge. When people overlook you, misunderstand you, or talk down to you, it can be tempting to fight back, to explain yourself, to defend your worth, but that's a trap. It wastes your time, your energy, and your focus. Instead of trying to convince others of your value, invest all of that energy into becoming valuable. Build yourself so well that you don't need to tell people you're winning. They'll see it. They'll feel it. And the best part, they won't be able to ignore it. You have to understand that the most powerful revenge is not anger. It's not pride. It's not ego. It's transformation. When you rise from being doubted to being dominant, that's a language everyone understands. It's not emotional. It's not argumentative. It's results. And results don't lie. You want to silence the noise? Then go to work. Get so focused, so disciplined, so locked in that you don't even hear the negativity anymore. Let your daily actions speak louder than anyone's opinion. Let your consistency speak louder than their criticism. Every rep in the gym, every hour studying, every early morning, every late night, those are your comebacks. You don't need to announce anything. You just need to rise quietly, powerfully, unstoppably. Take the story of Andre, a high school student constantly told by his teachers and peers that he wasn't college material. He wasn't loud, he didn't stand out, and he didn't fit the mold of what people expected from a high-achieving student. But he didn't waste a single breath defending himself. He didn't argue, complain, or explain. Instead, he got to work. Every night he studied while others played video games. He stayed after school to ask questions while others ran to the parking lot. He applied for scholarships no one even knew about. He wasn't doing it for applause. He was doing it to rise. When college acceptance season came around, Andre had multiple letters in his hand, some from schools that had rejected students who had once laughed at him. Not only did he get in, he earned a full ride scholarship. Suddenly, the same teachers who once overlooked him were praising him. The same peers who doubted him were asking how he did it. He didn't need to say a word. His results had spoken. That's how you need to approach your life. Let people doubt you. Let them talk. Let them assume you can't or won't. Then disappear into the grind and shock them with your evolution. Let your discipline be the fire. Let your growth be the answer. Let your success speak volumes. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to post quotes about revenge. Just win. Just become undeniable. That's how you silence the noise. That's how you rise above the drama. That's how you shock everyone, not with your words, but with the undeniable proof of your progress. So don't chase validation, chase mastery. Don't argue, elevate. Let your results become your story. Because when the work is real and the results are clear, Even your enemies will have to respect the journey you've taken. That's the power of letting your results be the revenge. You are not here to stay average. You are not here to blend in. You are here to elevate, to dominate, and to transform. So focus on yourself, cut the excuses, kill the distractions, because if you stay committed to the process, they won't recognize you in a year. They'll be asking, how did you do it? And the answer will be simple. I focused on myself and I shocked everyone